Replacing my backpack because it got stolen. What was the most valuable tech item you've had stolen or lost?
Man, I had a PDA that was lost then stolen. I left it behind in the seats at an ice rink, and when I went back for it, it was gone. Actually, that's not the most expensive though. Have I ever told you about the time I lost my university laptop?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't think so.
Well, this is a classic Linus moment. It was early, and I was getting ready to commute into school, so it was quite a drive. It was even once I was living with the girlfriend's parents, now wife, not the same person, not separate people. Once I was living with the girlfriend's parents, it was still quite a drive, so it was really early in the morning, and I had to scrape ice or something off of the windshield or just condensation frost. And so I hadn't gotten into the car yet. I just kind of put my laptop on top of the roof, did my thing, and drove away.
Oh,
see you later, laptop. No idea where it fell off.
Yep,
that was my Asus M5NE laptop that I actually DIY built up myself. It was a bare bones, so I bought the CPU, which was actually socketed back in those days. Picked up some RAM, hard drive, and I got an extended battery that was like a big booty hump on it that made it sit up on the table at an angle, but lasted flippin' forever. Actually loved that machine.
Mine was an LG G2.
Yeah, I know about this one.
I left on a plane.
You knew it too, right? And they wouldn't let you back on?
I'm trying to remember the whole story. I don't fully remember everything. It's been a long time.
I remember one key part of the story.
What?
The fact that the phone belonged to Linus Media Group.
Yeah, that's very true. I don't think I've lost anything of my own. Why would I do that?
Exactly.
Yeah. I think I got back on the plane and then it wasn't in the seat pocket, or they said to me it wasn't in the seat pocket. One of those two things happened. I don't remember which. They either let me on, I got to see myself, or they got someone to go look for me, but they wouldn't let me on. I don't remember which one happened though. But then I had some form of tracking on it. I don't remember what it was at the time. And it was definitely at the airport and then left the airport and then disappeared. So someone definitely grabbed it.
Bummer.
I don't know. It was definitely stolen.
For the number of times though that I have lost things, I've had far more times that I've gotten really lucky with things to the point where I still feel pretty good about my ratio.
Me too.
Do you remember the time that one of our camera operators left an entire duffel bag loaded with camera equipment just sitting in front of the hotel in Vegas?
Oh yeah.
And we just all got into the car and left for the airport, and they just left it there, and fortunately someone saw it and turned it back into the hotel, but it was full of thousands of dollars of camera gear. And then when that same camera op did the same thing at an airport in Germany, just left it in the, when you disembark and haven't gone through customs and everything and security yet, they left it there. And we had crossed through,
just
and we're not allowed to go back to get it. It was just sitting in an airport, which is a really good place for an unlabeled bag full of electronics. When you have a shoot to do, then you need the camera for it. That was, but we got that one back too. Fortunately, someone who worked at the airport knew who we were, and was like, "All right, I'll go look for it."
That's always lucky.
Yes.
That's very lucky.
Yeah, we got very lucky.
I always tend to find that my hip to knee angle is very unfortunate, and I'm sitting like this. These are my hips. These are my knees. So things will fall out of my pockets. And eventually I just got so fed up with it that I wear these shorts almost exclusively, and they have zipper pockets. Or the LTT sweatpants. Those have zipper pockets. So I'll wear those because I can at least zip up the pocket. But there's 2 times where my wallet has fallen out of my pocket in a taxi. And one of them was on a trip. So I lost all of the receipts that I had for the trip.
Got him.
That sucked. And I lost everything in my wallet, but I wasn't carrying cash. So honestly, the biggest value that was lost was the receipts. if I remember correctly, you got me for it, but it was like you gave me like a thing instead of money, if I remember correctly. Because
Yeah,
you're
that
like, you
kinda
don't
makes
have the
sense.
receipts. I can't reimburse the cash.
Yeah, like legally, I can't.
No, I know. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, no, I'm explaining it to them because
Yeah.
sometimes I'll talk about this
no, this
kind of
was
stuff.
cool. I actually appreciated this a
and,
lot.
and people will not really understand how our accounting laws work and how our labor laws work because
You
it
like
works
100% need the receipts.
it works some other way over there or something. And it's like, no, if I reimburse this, and without a receipt, I have paid him and he owes income tax on it, period. Like that's, so
If I remember correctly, the deal was,
we circumvented it a different way.
yeah, the deal was,
But he was happy and
do
I was
a-
happy and it was a business expense. So it's not like we did anything morally wrong.
if I remember correctly, it was like, okay, do a video reviewing this thing and then you can just have it. I think it was
That
the
sounds about right.
Warthog HOTAS.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think that was it. I don't really remember. But either way, yeah. So that was the first one. And then the next one, I called it was an Uber. So I actually had the contact because the first one was pre-Uber. So I called the taxi agency and they were just like, you're not getting it back. And I was like, okay. But this one, it was an Uber. So I actually contacted the Uber guy, called him. He was like not doing rides anymore,
Yeah.
but drove all the way back. And then tried to just like leave after handing it to me. And I was like, hold on. And I gave him a bunch of cash as like a thank you.
Cool.
So I made it very worth his while to drive back. But he was about to just like drop off the wallet and take off.
I think
and I was
left
like,
a
hold
back-
on. You
I
should
think-
be paid for this.
I think I left a backpack on the SkyTrain once, or my wallet, and it made it all the way to the terminus station. And I contacted TransLink, and I did get it back. I think it was my wallet.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been pretty lucky.
Yeah. But ever since then, that second time I left my wallet in the taxi, I was just like, no. I like don't travel without zipper pockets anymore.
Cardinal says that's not true. You can use other methods of substantiation than receipts. Cool, but he didn't have them.
Yeah. Because it was paid. That was like
Yeah,
in that era. This was quite a while ago. In that era, I would pay for everything in cash on trips because you didn't want to use credit cards.
yeah, because then the exchange sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole move was before you went on the trip, you
Yep.
would get cash out from the bank.
Yeah,
You'd go with cash on your trip. You'd pay with cash, and then your evidence would be receipts. So I had no form of evidence
Man,
whatsoever.
Can I just say, shout out Roam Like Home cell phone plans and like reasonable like credit cards and debit cards with reasonable
that are
currency
getting better at
exchange
that.
rates.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's getting so much easier these days, but back then it was a huge pain. You'd have to land, before the trip, you'd have to exchange some money and then just hope that you had enough. You'd have to land immediately upon landing. You'd have to find a place that you can buy a SIM. You'd have to distribute your new SIM phone number to everyone that needs it. Like just all these like really just annoying steps that shouldn't honestly have to happen. But yeah.